yes, welcome inside the friendly confines of Ferndale High School at Dr. Roy Burkhardt Gymnasium. It's time for the Motor City Roundball Classic. Orchard Lake St. Mary's on the road to take on Ferndale in their own tournament. My name is Chad Bush alongside Sam Stick Day. Proud to bring you full court prep, a doubleheader. We've never done this before. It's kind of crazy. I'm glad you're along for the ride, partner. Great to see you. Happy holidays.
Yeah, same to you, Chad, and it's awesome. You got a broadcast going on in two separate locations. A lot of good high school basketball being played across the state of Michigan. Proud to bring this game to you tonight.
No doubt. Let's get right into this. Orchard Lake St. Mary's and Ferndale quite familiar with one another. They played the last couple seasons. St. Mary's has absolutely knocked the teeth out of them. They beat them by 41 2 years back. Will Smythe put up 40 points in that game. And then St. Mary's last year's stick won by 19 points in a tournament in Grand Rapids against Ferndale on the 30th a season ago. They've had their number, but Ferndale made it to the semifinals a year ago. St. Mary's bounced in the quarterfinals. An exciting matchup with a lot of talent. But these two teams lost a lot from a year ago.
Yeah, and they've lost a lot in the early part of this season, too, which is not something you'd expect out of each of these programs. You know, coming into a game, Orchard Lake, St. Mary's, and Ferndale, you do not expect the records to be a combined 3-5. But that is not the quality of basketball we're going to get tonight. Both of these programs operate at a high level, as you mentioned, making it pretty far in the state tournament on both ends last year. So I'm excited to see this matchup tonight. You know, we got to call the Ferndale Brother Rice game a little bit earlier this season. This is my first Orchard Lake St. Mary's game of the season, and interested to see how some of those young guys have developed for St. Mary's.
Yeah, it should be fun to see. St. Mary's a season ago lost 3 starters, Rozier, Hannah, Kapusta. They enter 3 new starters in Savory, Smith, and Smythe to go with Barnes and McKinney. Should be an interesting matchup. Meanwhile, Ferndale enters with Cameron Reed, their star, one of the best on-ball defenders in the state of Michigan. And Trent Ruth, who can really stroke it. Noah Blocker, who had a 27-point performance. Chris Williams. And Jaden Hardiman, who I know you really like. But Caleb Renfro back tonight. He's active stick. And Juan Rickman, the head coach for Ferndale, very excited to get him back in the rotation.
Yeah, he's going to add a lot to, he's kind of an all-around good player. He can shoot it, he can defend well, so getting him back in the rotation is going to be massive for them because it's a tough matchup against Orchard Lake St. Mary's, even though they do not have a senior starting for them. All sophomores and 2 juniors.
They do not. Let's get to the starting lineup. We'll start first with a road team, the St. Mary's Eaglets, who will start with Sherrod Barnes at the guard spot, the sophomore who started several games a year ago, known for his defense, but could do a lot of things. Daniel Smythe, a first-year starter, but a 3-year varsity kid, a junior, can really stroke it, coming off a 14-point, 5-assist performance against Chicago Kenwood back 10 days ago. Trey McKinney, one of the best players in the country, and certainly one of the best players in the state of Michigan. A guy who's got offers from everybody under the sun, a sophomore scoring sensation, and one of the best players around. He'll be fun to watch. Number 21 is Andrew Smith, a new starter in the lineup for Todd Covert, a junior and a forward, and kind of a grimy guy that does it all. Jaden Savory, the transfer from Detroit Renaissance, the super sophomore who is just activated and eligible. Todd Covert in his 8th year, a 92 grad of St. Mary's, assisted by associate head coach Len Karshnia in his 31st season, and the former Ferndale head coach, now an assistant, Marcus Webster, for Orchard Lake St. Mary's. Brad Crichton rounds out the staff for Orchard Lake St. Mary's, who comes in 1-2, last played 10 days ago, lost to Chicago Kenwood, a very good program, by 7. They also have lost another game this year to Michigan Collegiate before winning in the opener against Renaissance. Let's meet the starters for Ferndale under the tutelage of Juan Rickman. And Juan Rickman assisted by Lloyd Coles, Byron Johnson, Nathaniel Bulware, and Victor Hamilton. This is what the Ferndale Eagles will look like tonight. And they're starting 5. They'll start with Cameron Reed at the point guard spot. Trenton Ruth at the off guard spot, who can really stroke it. Noah Blocker, who went for 27 against Grosse Pointe South back a couple weeks ago. Chris Williams at the small forward spot. And Jaden Hardiman, the transfer from Warren Mott, as the big man at 6'7". interesting. Both these two teams, as you mentioned, made it far last year, Stick, trying to get right. Challenging game for both. Both these coaches schedule very tough games. Really an exciting matchup between these two Oakland County clubs.
Yeah, and you love that out of both programs, not backing down from anybody in the state when they're being called to challenge, and that's why when you get a call to match up with a good team early in the season, it's kind of the Tom Izzo thinking of basketball. You challenge your team early, and you see what they're made of, and it can only help them grow going on into the state tournament, which we're months away from. But these games now are your growing games. This is when you get it out of your system. This is when you kind of learn what you have going forward.
That's right. Ferndale has also played light in games. They lost a tight one to Detroit University Prep to open the season, 55-52. A tight loss to UAD Jesuit here, 57-55. And then a win over Grosse Pointe South before losing to Brother Rice by double digits in a tight game at times in this game. Hey, look, they have not played themselves in quite some time, Stick, and both teams shaking off the rust tonight. It'll be interesting to see how things work early on.
Yeah, St. Mary's, that 10 days off is an eternity, and I actually was talking about that earlier today. The younger you are, the further apart days are, it seems. And when you're in high school, 10 days is a very long time, so it's going to be interesting to see if they can catch their rhythm early in this game or how long it's going to take for them to catch their rhythm against Ferndale, because Ferndale is a very good defensive team.
2 state titles under the belt of Ferndale. The Eagles, a proud program, won it in 63-66. The Eaglets have won it 4 times and last won it in 2001. We're coming back with a tip from Ferndale High School, the Motor City Roundball Classic, coming up right after this.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education.
Welcome back to Ferndale High School. Chad Bush and Sam Stick Day with you. Beautiful ceremony before this one, honoring Mr. Reed and all he's done here in this community. We'll talk with him at the end of the first quarter. And getting ready for Ferndale and Orchard Lake St. Mary's. St. Mary's we have ranked number 8 in our poll, Stick. But look, this is something that these two teams, St. Mary's, who's had the number, a 41-point win 2 years ago and a 20-point win last year. Ferndale's going to be out for blood in their home court.
Yeah, well, they say the longer a streak goes, the closer it is to coming to an end. So, for Ferndale's sake, you hope that comes true tonight. Anytime it's a 40-point loss, especially when you're only putting up 40 yourself, that's not something you want to endure too often. And, hopefully they use it as motivation to come out like, listen, guys, the last 2 years, like you said, they've kind of had our number. Now's the time to put our stamp on this game and to show them that our program is here.
Yes, sir. It's been a long day of basketball for us. This is game number 7 about to begin. Great ceremony before, led by Juan Rickman and the great folks, the Motor City Roundball Classic. Juan does a great job. I know TJ Kelly, a big part of it. But Ferndale, a host school. And this is the headliner today. It's a 4-day tournament. And Stick, a lot of excitement around this game, this program. But look, right now, Brother Rice, the game before that we did not cover against Grand Blanc, the number 1 and 2 teams, some folks say in the state, went at it in a convincing win by Brother Rice.
Yeah, it was a tight game throughout. Early on, I think it was like a 4 or 5 point game. Then Brother Rice stretched it out to 12 points, and Grand Blanc could just never really get back into it. Williams had a big game for Brother Rice. He looked probably to be the best player on the court in that last game. R.J. Taylor struggled a little bit, and when he struggles, so does Grand Blanc a little bit. So it was an interesting matchup. It was a fun matchup to watch. This gym was packed. They kept having to say, you got to clear the entrance, you got to clear the entrance. It's been a great atmosphere so far here in Ferndale.
We're coming back with a tip, we promise, right after this. The Eagles of Ferndale, the Eaglets of St. Mary's. We're the Prep. Thanks for watching.
Hi.
Welcome back, Chad Bush and Stick Day with you. St. Mary's in the road whites, Ferndale in the home brown and gold. And we are underway. Here we go. Tip one by Ferndale and a steal immediately. Daniel Smythe with a swipe. Here come the Eaglets left to right. 1 and 2 on the year. Not the starts they've been used to here at St. Mary's. Under Todd Covert in his 8th year. Savory turns and burns and lays it in. The Renaissance transfer with a red-hot start. 2-0 St. Mary's.
Yeah, that was a defensive error by Noah Blocker, following his the guy he's guarding away from the pick, and just an easy roll to the hoop.
Ferndale team that comes in 1 and 3 on the year. And they're led by Cameron Reed, the point guard, who has it between the rings. Known for his defense, but this guy does quite a bit. Being recruited by some Division I schools, Division II schools. And this is a sloppy first possession, and it ends in a turnover with St. Mary's up 2-0.
Yeah, Trenton Ruth almost saved it, but his heel came down on the half-court line, and unfortunately that's over and back and a turnover.
So it'll be Sherrod Barnes to start at the point guard spot for St. Mary's. We'll see different folks in there.
This is going to be a fun matchup to watch all night long. Two defensively focused point guards.
Really is. Two of the best defenders on ball in the state. Daniel Smythe, left wing 3, no. And here comes Ferndale trailing 2-0 in their own gym. The Motor City Round Ball Classic. Chris Williams trying to find the postman. That's Hardiman. The Mott transfer. And he'll come back high on the left to Cameron Reed. 2-0 early.
And Hardiman had some moments against Brother Rice. He's a big kid. He's hard to move off that block, and he'll disrupt some things in the middle.
He can be a problem. He and Savory are a fun matchup to watch, too. There's a lot of good matchups here.
Matchups make fights.
Short corner right jumper, no. Offensive rebound. Hardiman had it ripped away by Daniel Smythe, his second steal already. Sherrod on the run. Back to Bugsy. Pocket left 3. Splash City. 5-0 OLSM. A minute 10 gone by.
And that's where Smythe is very dangerous in that corner.
His brother lit up Ferndale for 41 points 2 years ago. Andrew Smith with his steal. Savory on the run. Takes it himself and lays it in. It's 7-0 St. Mary's. A minute and a half gone by.
And it's all started on the defensive end for St. Mary's. Defense leading to offense and easy buckets.
Sure has. Dump into the post. Hardiman had position and no chance there. He beat Sherrod Barnes, and Ferndale's on the board 7-2.
And we were talking pregame about the weakness of Orchard Lake St. Mary's, and it probably is. They don't have a big presence in the middle.
Daniel Smythe says you better step out and get a hand up. Hand down, man down, 6 points for Smythe, 10-2 OLSM by 8, 5 minutes to go in the first.
Guess you really don't have to worry about a big presence when you're draining them from downtown.
Left corner, lefty 3, Williams no. Rebound, Jaden. Savory up to Sherrod. Pocket right, Trey McKinney for 3, no. Hardiman with a big boy rebound. St. Mary's by 8.
And you like the tempo that Orchard Lake St. Mary's is playing with, pushing it and getting their shots up early.
Chris Williams, corner three, air ball. Noah Blocker right there with an easy lay-in. And St. Mary's has had some trouble checking out. It's a 6-point lead, though, for the Eaglets on the road.
An air ball into a basket remind you of a De La Salle game from last year with Orchard Lake St. Mary's?
Oh, boy. You had to start with that one.
Hey, the game played out the way it did.
No, you're right. 100% right. It gives Eaglet fans nightmares, I'm sure. The De La Salle quarterfinal win. Trey McKinney, 16-footer, fading away. Count it. He quenches 8-point lead for the Eaglets, matching their largest lead.
And that's what makes Trey McKinney so special, that mid-range jump shot, especially when he gets to the free throw line. He's very comfortable there.
Hardiman two-timed ripped away, and foul coming. It's going to go on Andrew Smith. That'll be his first. Ferndale will go to the bench, and they will check Caleb Renfro in. This is his first minutes of the year. This is a starter that's coming off the bench tonight, just shaking the rust off. He'll have Noah Blocker sit down. And also into the game comes number 21, Marquise Young, a very prized piece off their bench. You've got a 5-second call, and that's what Sherrod Barnes does.
I was just going to say, he has not lost an ounce of intensity on that defensive end. Man-to-man, he could be the best on-ball defender in the state, and he's only a sophomore.
Mason Wisniewski checks in. Savory checks out for the Eaglets. Sherrod Barnes high on the left, the sophomore. Just one senior on this roster for St. Mary's. And he is the 8th or 9th man. It's all juniors, sophomores, and freshmen. Sherrod turns the corner, falls down, and travels.
Yeah, that's the right call. I mean,
oh, yeah.
It's tough when you slip like that, but that is a travel. You go to the ground with the ball.
St. Mary's will check in. Number 11, Isaiah Zip Hines, a sophomore, and a transfer from Macomb, Dakota.
How did he get the nickname Zip, you know?
I think he's quick. I think he's quick. Or he's committed to Akron, one of the two. But I think he's just quick. Dish down low to Chris, two-timed and distracted and airballed. Wisniewski and McKinney distracted, Trey on the run. Down the avenue, bounce pass stolen.
Yeah, you don't love a bounce pass there to a big man.
Lost by Williams. Teammate got his back. Fadeaway Young shot. No. Hardiman fights for the offensive glass and gets a reset. Back out. Renfro. Right wing three. Good. Welcome back, Caleb Renfro. His first action, and the senior cuts it to 5.
That's a good handles by Zip right there.
Wisniewski back to the top side. Zip with it. Wide open. Dead spot right for 3. Splash City. The third of the day for St. Mary's already. And it bumps that lead back up to Ocho.
And you got to love a kid with the name Isaiah wearing number 11.
Zeke Thomas, no doubt. He was raised well, if that's the reason he's wearing 11. Nothing home down low. They'll back it out. Ruth has it knocked away by Hines, who shakes his head and says, "You're not getting it through that easy." Jackson Wazalewski checks in, the lone senior on the team, along with Sherrod Barnes. Daniel Smythe checks out, along with Trey McKinney. Also sitting Trenton Ruth for Ferndale. Back into the game comes Cameron Reed, and here come the Eagles right to left, down 8. It's been a stingy Eaglet man-to-man defense. Right wing, Hardiman jump shot, no. Offensive rebound and another near steal. St. Mary's has been a handful in passing lanes.
Yeah, I don't mind that offensive possession by Ferndale. I just like to get Hardiman a little closer on the block. He caught it a little bit too far away, out of his range. You need him to post up and use that big body.
Yeah.
And they're checking him out of the game right now. He looks beat.
Yep, Hardiman out, Andrew Smith out, who's done a nice job on Hardiman. Back in comes Mason Wisniewski. Renfro down low, gets position and lays it in against Isaiah Hines. That was like putting, that was easy.
Yeah, whatever metaphor you want to come up with there, that is not the matchup that Orchard Lake St. Mary's wants to live by.
Hines hits the deck, and Todd Covert wants timeout. 30-second timeout. We'll keep it right here. Orchard Lake St. Mary's with a 6-point lead on the road, and we get another look here, Stick.
Yeah, this is just a play that just happened. Able to get a timeout before the foul was called or before a travel. So big timeout for Todd Covert running into half court to make sure that the officials saw him. And there he is in the huddle doing his thing.
Todd Covert in his 8th year talking to his team. The Eaglets 1-2. This is uncharted waters for them, but look, this is a team that schedules tough. Lost a lot of key pieces, including their centerpiece, Rozier, the point guard. Hannah, who's at Western Michigan. Rozier with Duquesne, and Bart Kapusta with Lewis. Catholic League Central Division, of course, 716 co-divisional and private. And state titles, 4 of them, 33, 78, 82, and 2000. You'll recall Allen Robinson, all-Catholic 3-year starter, 8 years in the NFL with the Bears, and now with the Rams, even though he's on the injured reserve.
A guy that could jump out of the gym.
Yep. Sherrod Barnes throws it away, and a mad scramble, and it's a jump ball.
And you love the effort by Wazlewski on that. My goodness, he's giving it his all to get that jump ball. We'll take a look at this replay. This is all effort. Hops over a man, dives in, reaches over the top.
That's why he's getting minutes. Gritty.
Gotta admire hustle.
Yes, sir. Isaiah Hines crosses over. Floater up, no. Rebound pulled off by Blocker, and an over the back by Wisniewski.
And just getting a little over-aggressive after that rebound was had. But that's all right. I'll take aggressive fouls like that.
Yeah. And there's some size out there with St. Mary's. Wisniewski out there at 6'6", and Savory out there at 6'6". Quick move to the bucket. Left hand over the head and through. Cam Reed with an acrobatic banker.
Incredible hang time coming through the lane.
We got a tie-up, and we've got Ferndale basketball forcing turnovers, and the aggressor winning right now.
Well, they're picking up that half-court trap, but here we get a look at Cameron Reed just soaring through the air, hanging with the left-handed kind of hook shot off the glass. My goodness.
Mm-hmm. Both these teams won their leagues last year. St. Mary's had to do it in the conference tournament. They finished middle of the pack in the Central. Front iron missed, no second chance. Shot blocked by Savory at the buzzer. Big time play, keeps it a 4-point game. The lead's been as big as 8. We've got a contest on our hands in Ferndale. Chad and Stick with you from fashionable Ferndale. Thanks for hanging out. This is Game 7. We are the Prep.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education.
Yes, the Ferndale Eagles 1-3 out of Division II. 652 co-ed students, public high school, OAA Red, the highest of OAAs. Don Rickman, fine head coach in his 5th season, 2 state titles, 63-66. Semifinalists, 21 and 22. And, of course, you'll recall one of their best players in program history, Daniel Smythe with his 3rd triple. And the lead is back to 7. Smythe continues to sizzle Ferndale from downtown.
Yeah, Smythe has been the reason that Orchard Lake St. Mary's has stayed in the lead so far in this game.
Pull up 18-footers good. That's a smooth-looking jumper for Renfro in his first game back.
It is a nice-looking jumper, an odd release, and then you see the full-court press again by Ferndale.
Savory two-time, nowhere to go. Completes to Sherrod, who goes down the alley and is fouled.
But you could tell this press has thrown Orchard Lake St. Mary's off early on in the game. They were getting easy buckets, and look at, there's another look at that nice stroke by Caleb Renfro. Kind of looks like Rashard Lewis. You remember Rashard Lewis, the way he shot, up way over his head?
Yeah. He was in a movie, wasn't he? Smythe again for three. No. Heat checkers off. 5-point lead for the Eaglets. Ferndale on the run. Cam starts, stops, kicks. Right corner to the hot hand. No. Sherrod with a rebound. Savory picks up the loose change. Trey on the run and slipped and was fouled.
That's the same area, too, that they went down earlier. They may want to bring somebody out with a towel and clean up that floor. I mean, they played a lot of basketball today. Very cold outside, kind of steamy in here. Just slips. Oof.
Yeah.
Left foot just gives out.
Todd Covert getting nervous for that slip. Savory down the avenue. Bullies his way down and is busted for an offensive foul. You appreciate the aggressiveness by Savory. But that's it there. He gets busted for it.
Yeah, you could tell he pushed off with his left arm, just pretty much throwing Cameron Reed to the ground. Offensive foul. But once again, an aggressive foul going to the rim. There you go. See the little elbow right there to the chest. They'll call you every time for that.
And twice on Sunday. St. Mary's in man-to-man. Ferndale trying to cut into this 5-point lead. It's been as big as 8 and as low as 4 for most of this game. Cameron Reed, who's being looked at by Robert Morris, Holy Cross, and Wayne State, backs it out. Left wing blocker for 3 over Smythe, no good. And Savory saves it. And outlets, Smythe all alone and stolen by Cam Reed. Fine free safety play. A near travel, helter-skelter, Chris Smith, and a offensive foul is called, and the chaos comes to a close.
Great awareness, though, by the sophomore. That's something you see normally out of a junior or a senior, but to be able to stand in there and take the charge like that instead of trying to use your 6'6" athleticism to get up and block the shot, that was a good, smart defensive play.
Sure was. Barnes crosses the timeline. Hot pass, right sideline. Smith for 3. Bullseye.
Not Smythe, Smith.
That's right.
And then Smythe was the other guy knocking down threes.
Andrew Smith, the junior, who can stick it from outside. Good role player. Do a lot of things well.
And that was the first time Orchard Lake St. Mary's really broke that press and had a solid offensive possession out of it.
That's right.
And they switched to a zone.
Hardiman all alone, pretty feed. Rebound by Barnes. Savory cross court. Smythe open, thought about it.
Yes, he did.
Gave it up to Trey. Fadeaway jumper, got it. McKinney from Smythe, and the lead is up to 10. It's the largest of the game for Orchard Lake.
Yeah, Trey McKinney and that mid-range turnaround jump shot on baseline too, man. It's something special to see, and once again, only a sophomore. He is only going to get better.
Young team. Just under 5 to go until halftime. Cam Reed trying to orchestrate this offense. Reed against Smythe, nowhere to go. Kick out left corner, 3, no. And we've got a foul on Hardiman.
Yeah, looked like he was hooking.
That's just his first. No foul trouble for Ferndale or Orchard Lake. Right now, it's Smythe leading St. Mary's with 9 points. And he's done it on 3 of 5 shooting, all from downtown. And the leading scorer for Ferndale is Renfro with 7. That's all been off the bench. also 3 of 5 from the floor, 1 triple. McKinney, off foot, one-hand fadeaway jumper, no good.
The Dirk Nowitzki.
Yep. Trey playing his AAU ball with Mean Streets. Got a chance to go back to the Chicago area where he competed for much of the summer. Foul on the floor, ball out of bounds, baseline left, 4:03 left, St. Mary's by 10. The Eaglets are shooting 64% in this game stick, 5 of 7 from downtown. Ferndale just 6 of 18, 33%, 1 of 7 from downtown. Blocker drives, nice move to get to the hole and kiss it in. Ferndale with a much needed gauze on the bleeding. It's back to 8.
Yeah, you know I'm a fan of his game. When we called the Brother Rice Ferndale game, he was out with the warm-ups early, just an intense guy, all-around good player.
Yep. Savory to the bucket and lays it in.
Loved how he used his body to get some space between him and Hardiman, because Hardiman's a big fella, but just a little lean in, got that space, easy layup.
Yeah, you can have the size, you're right, but if you don't know how to use that body, it's useless. 6 points now for Savory, second best on the Eaglets.
Ooh.
How about that triple? That's Chris Williams. No, it's not. It's Caden Houston, the 6'2 junior. Timeout on the floor. We'll take it with him. 3:14 to go. We're back to Ferndale in a moment.
This is Adam, take 2. Mark?
I guess.
I go like this.
The best part about playing football in Texas has to be the reaction from the community.
I want to encourage others to play volleyball or choir because you get to experience new things and do stuff that you've never done before. My reason why is passion.
My reason why is pride.
There you see Juan Rickman, the 5th-year head coach for Ferndale. Right now, Ferndale down in their own gym by 7. They've been down as many as 10. Stick, what's been the difference in this St. Mary's surge here in the second quarter?
Being able to figure out that press. For a while there, Ferndale was getting back in the game by getting some easy turnovers. And now they've kind of backed off their press because St. Mary's was able to beat it a couple times.
McKinney on the right wing, fade away, 15-footer short.
That's the one thing with Trey. You'd like to see him going towards the basket more.
Yep. Shot long there. And cross-court picked by Andrew Smith, who will go coast to coast and get it rejected. But Barnes is there and has his back and will shoot 2.
Whew. I was shocked he had the breakaway speed to even get ahead of the pack like that. But sometimes you leave yourself vulnerable for that track-down block that Tayshaun Prince made famous and LeBron James perfected. But here you go, the track down from behind, long arms off the backboard. It's one of the most beautiful plays in basketball, honestly.
It is. Caleb Renfro can play it both ways now. But Sherrod Barnes was there to scoop it and get fouled. So Barnes line right. This will be the first free throws of the night for either squad, and Sherrod will miss.
Yeah, it's been a tough-nosed game, but it's been a pretty clean game up into this point.
Barnes, the sophomore, missed the shot. Trey McKinney gets the rebound and scores it. Blocker tried to get beneath him, but it didn't matter. It's a 9-point Eaglet lead, 2:25 left until the break.
Yeah, but 2 offensive rebounds on that possession really kept it alive for Orchard Lake St. Mary's.
Renfro, a threat from distance, playing around the perimeter. Ball is stripped and ripped. Andrew Smith comes up with it. Zip with the ball, right of the lane to the hole, off the glass, and scores it. That's Isaiah Hines, and the Eaglets have built their largest lead of 11 with under 2 to go until the break.
Great body control to take the contact midair and still have the strength to get that ball up and in by Hines. Maybe tiny, but he can take a hit.
Started last year at Dakota for Coach Toko. Right wing three, no. Air ball. Chris Williams with a hustle play. Back out, blocker for three, no. And contact and some backcourt words and a heated conversation. And Renfro and Andrew Smith have to be separated.
And that was interesting. Renfro put up the shot, and then Smith on the way down, their feet got entangled. Renfro probably took that as a trip and turned around and started jawing at each other.
Yeah.
That's all right. As long as it stays just at that, I got nothing wrong with a little bit of chippiness.
Yeah, and a good job by the officials to cut it before it got further, if it was going to.
Yes.
And a good communication piece, talking to Juan Rickman, the head coach.
Yeah, these are both competitive teams, all about sportsmanship. So I'm sure, and that's what you love about the end of the game, the handshake at the end of the game. Everything will be good.
Yep.
But between the lines, while the clock's running, a little bit more intense.
You know it. Trey McKinney splashes on the first. The All-State candidate, Trey McKinney, All-Catholic a year ago, 7 points in the game. Knocks them both down. So Smythe with 9, McKinney with 8, Savory with 6, 5 for Hines. It's good balance for St. Mary's. And look, they threatened one of the best teams in Chicago. It took them to the wire on their home court, lost by 7 10 days ago. Both teams could be rusty. Ferndale, same thing. Look, they took Brother Rice to the wire at times.
Yep.
Ended up losing by double digits, but they had their moments. You and I called that game. So both teams looking to, looks like they've improved.
Yeah, and you don't never want to sit on those losses. You want to get back on the court as soon as possible. For St. Mary's waiting 10 days, I'm sure it's extra sour in their mouth.
Right. Pocket left three, no. Offensive rebound, no, a blocker. His banker, no. Savory with a rebound and a foul on blocker. And it's getting chippy here. Savory and blocker with some words.
Yeah, blocker, once again, that's my type of guy, though. He's in there. He's always around the basketball. Even though he missed that little bunny there, he's chasing it down. He's trying to force. And he's not going to back down from anybody. And neither is the sophomore Savory for Orchard Lake St. Mary's.
Yep. St. Mary's 5 of 8 from three-point land. Ferndale 2 of 13. So the efficiency there, a big part of this game. Ferndale with 6 more shots in the contest. But St. Mary's, you're shooting 60% in the game. You got to feel really good about the shot selection and the way that the distribution's gone.
Yeah, and the turnover battle is that Orchard Lake St. Mary's is winning right now. St. Mary's only with 5 and Ferndale with 9. They're on pace for 20 turnovers in a game. That's tough to overcome.
Yeah, it is. Savory knocks down the free throw. The lead is as large as it's been all night. It's a 2-touchdown lead. We're under a minute to go before the break. You won't want to miss at the break. We've got a very special guest. Don McNeil will join us at halftime. We'll also talk to Mrs. Katina Rickman, the Community Outreach Director for HAP. So we look forward to those conversations coming up at the break. But 45 seconds left, Stick. What are you looking for if you're Ferndale here?
They've been pretty deliberate on the offense, and I'd still try to get it down low into the post and get an easy basket. It's either that or Renfro.
Dribble drive, left-hand floater short. Smith with a rebound, Smythe with an outlet. St. Mary's can get the final shot if they want it. They're up 14 points. This is their largest lead. And this is the high score for the Eaglets. Daniel Smythe. Trey with 7 seconds. Now 5 down the avenue and stripped. 1 second left, half court heave, no good. But he made it interesting. Renfro misses, but the first half was an action-packed one. And one that sort of got away late, but we know it's not over Sam Stick Day.
Yeah, you can see Ferndale has missed a bunch of shots, but they're not going to shoot 29% the entire game. At some point, the law of averages will equal out, and they will get hot.
Coming back with the great Don McNeil, followed up by Mrs. Katina Rickman right after this.
dream, your drive, your grit, the heart and vision of every member of your team. We take it all, and from those threads of greatness, we weave a uniform of a champion. In many ways, our sport is just like yours. We've brought together a team of elite designers. We've put in the time and the sweat, perfecting our craft over 14 years. We've outfitted thousands of teams for thousands of victories, approaching each new project, each new game, like it's the only one we'll ever play. And let's be honest, we've done it all with a quality so unmatched that some can't help but call it perfection. You know, it's more than just a shirt. Look like a champion, play like a champion. A champion powered by the G. Hashtag GBrandUSA. GBrandUSA. Elite design, unmatched quality, American pride. We're proudly made in the USA.
Hi folks, Dr. Joe here again with Michigan Orthopedic Surgeons. Did you know that kids are not little adults when it comes to sports injuries? That's because of something called the growth plate. Growth plates exist all over the human body in our growing athletes. They're actually little cartilage discs that exist at the end of all the long bones. It's simply where a kid grows. The problem is that the growth plate can be the weak link. What might be a sprain, a strain, or a tear in an adult when they hurt themselves can actually be a growth plate fracture in a kid. So it's important, if your kid has hurt themselves and they're not using their arm or they're not able to put weight on a leg, come see one of us, get an x-ray, and make sure it's not a growth plate fracture. For more information, go to miorthosurgeons.com.
Today.
Hi folks, Dr. Joe here with Michigan Orthopedic Surgeons. We all know that our wives and daughters deserve special attention, but that's especially true when it comes to their knees. Do you know that females are at a 2 to 5 times risk compared to their male counterparts when it comes to blowing out their knees? It doesn't seem fair, but it's true. The reasons include the way females are made and the way they fire their muscles. But fortunately, there are injury prevention programs out there that can greatly decrease this risk of injury. And if you do know a female who blows out her ACL, don't despair. We have neat, innovative, minimally invasive ways to fix their knees and get them back onto the field. For more information, go to miorthosurgeons.com.
Welcome back to Ferndale High School, Dr. Roy Burkhardt Gymnasium. And a guy who's collected a lot of wins and memories in this gymnasium joins us now. Proud to bring in Don McNeil. who was the head coach here at Ferndale High School from 1989 to 2000. It's a guy who's been All-State in football here, All-State in basketball, holds track records, won a national title in football at Central Michigan and Mount Pleasant. Fire up chips. Don McNeil was honored tonight for his playing career, his coaching career, and for all the great things you've done for Ferndale High School. Congratulations. It must feel nice to be so admired by your peers.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it really was. You know, it's a humbling feeling to be recognized for things that really is a labor of love, you know, and working with these young men. And for me, it was doubly important to come back to where I actually began, to give back and try to get these guys prepared to move on in society. And the fruit of my labor has certainly revealed itself in that a lot of these guys are truly successful in life and productive members of society.
I'm sure there's so many to name, but just some of the folks that you've coached, some of the kids that you've coached that maybe stick out, maybe resonate with some of our viewers?
Yeah, I would say probably Rashad Phillips,
sure.
All-time leading scorer at UD before this year. He got his record broken there. Jarrett Stevens, Penn State, he led the Big Ten in scoring and rebounding one year there.
Western Michigan head coach now, right?
Yeah, that's Dwayne Stevens, his older brother.
I'm sorry.
Him too. He's at Western, and Cornell Mann, my other nephew. Those are my nephews, by the way.
Oh, wow.
He's the head coach at Grand Valley. So we kind of were like the first family of basketball here.
I guess
my
so.
older brother was the first All-Stater in 58, and I had two brothers played on the 63 state championship team. So it's kind of been a lifeline. Then there's, cousins and nephews, Joe Crawford that played at Renaissance that went to
Oregon.
all those guys are.
Mm-hmm.
That's my cousin. You know, we're big family, and we all play basketball. So
that's awesome. Played basketball, had fun, and then you went to Mount Pleasant, played football.
Yeah.
Won a national title. Mm-hmm. What was that experience like, winning a national title in 1974 for Central Michigan?
No, that was outstanding. You know, I had a great set of teammates. It was kind of a type of thing. I've talked to Roy Kramer, who is still alive.
Sure.
He's 92. I talked to him here about a week ago.
Still with the SEC?
No, he's done now. He's 92. He's just retired. Like he said, it was just something that lightning caught in a bottle, that he got so many players that year in 71. He got 4 of us off the Dream Team went to Central Michigan.
Wow.
Which was unheard of. You know, we bypassed Michigan, Michigan State, Notre Dame. We went there for various reasons. I had been on the campus for 3 years prior to in the summer for Fellowship of Christian Athletes. And Chris Allen, who was the offensive line coach, was my freshman basketball coach when I was a freshman here. So I knew him, and then I was very familiar with the campus, and it was an easy decision for me to make, but I was surprised that when I got to the banquet, as many All-Staters or Dream Teamers were going to Central Michigan. So we knew at that point that we're going to be pretty tough by the time we got through.
You built something great in Mount Pleasant. You built something great here in Ferndale. Congratulations on your night, the honoree. You deserve it.
Thank you, sir.
Pleasure to interview you. Best of luck to you and your family.
All righty. Thank you very much.
Pleasure to see you. That's Don McNeil, honored for his 18 years of service, but really a lifetime of commitment to Ferndale. They honor him tonight at the Round Ball Classic and do right by him. 32-18, St. Mary's over Ferndale at the break. We're coming back with Katina Rickman from Hap right after this. Thank you.
All right, this is Adam, take 2. Mark?
I guess.
I go like this.
The best part about playing football in Texas has to be the reaction from the community.
I want to encourage others to play volleyball or choir because you get to experience new things and do stuff that you've never done before. My reason why is passion.
My reason why is pride.
Welcome back to Ferndale High School, 32-18. St. Mary's over Ferndale. Second half coming up right after this. Special guest, though, that we'd love for you all to meet. Somebody that we felt special to meet. Katina Rickman joins us now from HAP, the Community Outreach Director. You've been such a big part of this tournament. It must feel wonderful to give back to something so great.
It's amazing. I'm just happy to be here, to be a part of it. We've done so many amazing things in the community. Just being a partnership of the Motor City Roundball Classic, this is a newer partnership for us, but we see it being a forever partnership because of the great things that they're doing with the college scholarships that they are providing for the students that play in the tournaments.
Yeah, and the tournament's been long-standing. What is it, year 21 now? And this is something that a company like HAP probably looks at and says, listen, this is something that's really continued to build. It's worth getting behind.
Correct. It's been going on for about 27 years. So now that we got wind of it, I said we had to be a part of it.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit more about the partnership and the sponsorship involved and just all the things that were so intriguing and easy to get behind.
So the partnership just pretty much started as them saying all the different things that they do for the players that are in the tournament of the schools. And so we just felt that that's making a big impact with all the different high schoolers around Michigan. And because we are such an impact within the community as being over within 60 years as a health plan, we just try to make sure that we make an impact as much as possible. So with different organizations as well as with the City of Detroit Health Department, we partner with the Detroit Public Schools Community District. We recently gave them $75,000 towards coats because of the need of kids identified with homelessness.
That's outstanding. What a great cause. This is a great event, coming together, partnering. What is it about this area in Metro Detroit and in Detroit that's warm to your heart and something that really makes you want to get HAP involved with in this area?
I just feel like it's just an overall Metro Detroit community where we can touch different areas. It could be Medicare, it can be Medicaid, also just small business groups, just all over. And so we just want to make sure that we're here to service anyone that we can, however best we can. And so just being a part of this, being the face of the community, it's just been amazing and overwhelming experience. We have been servicing over 200 agencies at this point. So it's just the beginning, but we're going to continue doing it and continue just being here and servicing our people.
We are with the HAP Community Outreach Director, Katina Rickman. We're so thankful that you've joined us. We look forward to continuing with you with this tournament and HAP. Grateful to have you here. Hope to have you again next year. And perhaps, maybe, Thursday and Friday we'll bring you back. We'll get some more games lined up. But thank you for being a part of what you do. It's wonderful, and we're humbled by it.
Thank you. I also want to give a shout-out to Savvy Sliders for also providing gift cards that we have been offering off to, players and people in the community that's here at the game today, just to give them a chance to be able to service them as well as enjoy the free meal that's down the street because they are located down the street from Ferndale High School.
I love it. Shout out for sure. They're down the street. Get them Savvy Sliders. And thank you very much. Katina Rickman of HAP Community Outreach, thanks for joining us, and we will catch up very soon.
Thank you.
We appreciate it very much. Back to the action, 35-20, St. Mary's on top. Daniel Smythe knocks down the triple, and St. Mary's now enjoying their largest lead of 15. 51 seconds into the second half. Hardiman in the paint, shot up, had it blocked by Savory. We welcome Sam Stick Day back into the broadcast. Thank you, partner, for being patient.
Oh, no problem. I was just hanging out watching some basketball, which is what I get to do now, too. So
that's a push-off on Trey McKinney, who's had a bit of a slower night. That is Trey's first foul. Smythe with 12 points leads the way on 4 triples. He's been the story in this one to lead all scorers.
Yeah, starting out the second half just like he was playing in the first, knocking down 3.
And it comes on the heels of a 14-point performance on the road at Chicago Kenwood.
Well, he's going to be a big piece of the Orchard Lake St. Mary's offense, because people are going to account for Trey McKinney. They're going to try to take out Sherrod Barnes, and they're going to try to take out Savory. So he's going to have a lot of wide open looks all season long.
Yeah, and the three-point shot something last year that St. Mary's lacked at times. And the guys that were hitting them, Rozier and Hannah and Kapusta, no longer on the team.
Right.
And the guy before that was hitting him was his brother, Will, who hit up 13 three-pointers against Ferndale 2 years ago on his way to 41 points.
Wonder how many shooting competitions go on in that driveway.
Quite a bit. Dribble drive, kick out. Fake lefty three, dribble drive, score off the rim. How did that thing pop out? Fancy move for Reed, though.
What an athletic take.
McKinney draws a block on Cam Reed, who's been a headache for everybody he's checked today.
Yeah, I don't think Cam Reed wants to get into a strength competition with McKinney, and that's what he tried to do here, get up in the body and get to him. And McKinney's just too strong to play that game against. He will control the basketball.
He is. You all right, brother?
I got the hiccups right
Hold
there.
your breath and count to 21. Did your mom ever tell you that?
No, it was like eat peanut butter. I heard chew gum.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Pull up left elbow, jump shot short. But I'm not questioning anything Mama or Mrs. Day, Mama or Papa Day had to say about hiccups.
Mama knows.
Mama knows. Hope your family had a wonderful holiday and Christmas.
It was great.
Awesome.
They live in Arizona, so, you know, FaceTime comes into play.
Oh, yeah. Williams gets loose down low and gets fouled going up. This is a nice-looking 6'5" senior forward for Ferndale, Chris Williams.
That looks to be 3 fouls on Jaden Savoy.
Indeed it is. First free throw up and good. Zip Hines in, Andrew Smith out. Renfro checks in, Hardiman out for Ferndale. Next up for these teams, St. Mary's will take on North Farmington on Thursday.
Ooh, that should be a good game.
At North Farmington, it should be. And then Ferndale, their challenging schedule continues as well. Their next game comes against Muskegon on the 7th. Lance Cruz in between there. Savory on the run, 3-on-1. Jaden running the break to the hole, puts it up, and offensive foul.
Yeah, with a 3-on-1, you at least want to see the ball change hands once, you know, pass the ball maybe to the middleman, so he's got some options down the middle. But, you know, great defense nonetheless, taking the charge right there by number 4, Noah Blocker, who is just a pest.
He is, the senior with a heady play. Savory will check out, and the junior Mason Wisniewski will check in. It's been a 3-man, that's okay. It happens. I've had them too. It's been a 3-man bench rotation for Todd Covert. And about the same for Ferndale. Blowing his way by is Cam Reed, but missed it. Trey on the run, left sideline. To the rack, and that's an offensive foul.
Back-to-back offensive fouls drawn by Noah Blocker.
That's the second on Trey. Chris, excuse me, get another look at it, Stick. What'd you think? Right call?
He may have been leaning a little bit, but he was there in time. And you know what? Trey McKinney's coming at you. I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt if you're willing to take the hit.
Right. Trey's been on the other side of some borderline charge calls too tonight.
But Ferndale has really picked it up on the defensive end. That full court press is back into full swing after they make a hoop, and it's caused some chaos early on in this second half.
Yes, it has. That's a travel. Renfro got caught on the precipitation on the floor again.
It's that same kind of section on the floor.
Officials want to talk it over.
He definitely slid, so it's definitely a turnover.
So full court pressure for Ferndale. Sherrod Barnes to trigger. Smythe in the backcourt along with Hines. Trey in the middle.
Here's that full court press.
Yeah, little 2-2-1. Juan Rickman's press is known to be difficult.
And that's how you break it. Get right into the middle of it.
Trey is hand checked that time by the reserve off the bench, Young, who's checked in, the 6'3 junior.
He's like, wait, what did I do? How am I supposed to guard this guy? Now, it's tough enough to guard him, but you got to be able to put at least a hand on him.
Yep. Get a look at Todd Covert, the fine eighth-year head coach.
Len Karshny on the background.
Oh, yeah. Coach K going at it. Sherrod to the hole, no, but he draws the foul and grimacing in pain as he gets help from his teammates. 2 shots coming up for Sherrod Barnes.
And who's that foul on? Was that on Reed? If so, that would be his third. It was on Renfro. Looks like it was on Renfro.
Okay.
I thought they called it on Reed down low.
Barnes fills it up. St. Mary's tonight, 4 of 7 from the free throw line. As you get a look at Juan Rickman, whose club is 4 of 4 from the stripe. Rickman in his 5th year took his team to the semifinals back-to-back seasons. Lost to Grand Rapids Catholic Central last year. In Division II, no shame in that. Grand Rapids Catholic Central will be in this tournament later on this week. Lay-in, no good, blew the bunny. Wisniewski might have distracted. Here comes McKinney.
And that's the benefit of having a Trey McKinney on your team, kind of a point forward.
Yeah, good way to describe him. Barnes with a sweet pass to Zip, who lays it in. That's a good-looking pass on a hop, and a good share of the sugar for Sherrod.
And a good cut to the basket, too.
Yes.
Isaiah Hines using his quickness, turning to the hoop in a hurry and getting a nice layup.
Yep. Good dial-up by Covert. And that pass is zipped between the fingers of Young. A little too much mustard. 16-point lead for Ferndale. And if they're going to make a run, now's the time. Wisniewski tried to find Hines.
Yeah, great effort by Caleb Renfro there. Almost saving it, getting the steal, and getting another possession, because possessions are the name of the game right now if you're Ferndale.
They're at a premium.
Unless you were watching the Pistons game last night. Did you see that?
I did not.
They blew a 14-point lead with 3 minutes left to go in the game.
I heard about it.
Only 2 times in 12,000 past game has that happened.
Unbelievable.
2 in 12,000. Now 3 in 12,000.
McKinney with a strip and rip. 2-on-1 the other way. Laying good, and the man-child finishes. And the biggest lead of the night for the Eaglets is now of 18.
And there it is on display. Trey McKinney and all that he can do. The size, the speed, the strength, the athleticism. Being under control and getting a nice lay-in. Ferndale needs a timeout.
Timeout of the floor. We'll take it with them. St. Mary's up 18 on the road. We're the Prep. Thanks for watching.
All right, this is Adam, take 2. Mark?
I guess.
I go like this.
The best part about playing football in Texas has to be the reaction from the community.
I want to encourage others to play volleyball or choir because you get to experience new things and do stuff that you've never done before. My reason why is passion.
My reason why is pride.
You want to go to a shooting camp that's right for you, go to the Prime Shooting Camp. February 18th through the 19th, 2 to 5. Look, 2nd grade, 8th grade, in between those levels, it's right here, Ferndale High School. Scan that QR code, get more information on it. A.W. Canada, one of the best shooting coaches in the country, who's currently on the road in the NBA, will be leading this. And this is a big one. Shooting mechanics, developing a variety of shots, shooting off the dribble, developing shooting routines, and much, much more. Scan the code in the corner for registration. Please arrive at least 30 minutes before camp. For more information, 214-418-5617, Prime Shooting Camp.
St. Mary's coming out in the zone. You don't see that too often. Todd Covert really prefers the man-to-man.
Yep. He's got Smythe and Barnes on the top side of it. Offensive rebounds with a trouble in a zone, and that happens there.
Well, Ferndale got 2 good looks. You'd expect Renfro to hit that 3 majority of the time.
No, sir. Williams with the bucket. 40-24, 16-point St. Mary's lead. Trey McKinney, pull up left elbow, got it. Trey McKinney now with 12 to tie Smythe for the team in game high.
It's crazy how that's almost a layup for him. It makes it look so easy, but that is not an easy shot. The one-handed push shot from right in front of the free throw line.
It's not. The numbers are gaudy for Trey. And we've got a tie-up and a jump ball on the floor.
Orchard Lake St. Mary's basketball.
Trey McKinney is ranked 22nd nationally by 247 Sports, and the #1 player in the state of Michigan. In his class, he's got offers from Alabama, Arizona State, DePaul, Illinois, to name a few.
Yeah, if you follow him on Instagram, you see him in a different jersey every week.
Yep. Iowa just offered him. Michigan, all in play. Indiana just offered him. Ohio State just offered him. And I think Michigan State did. How could Michigan State not? TCU, Texas, et al. You get the point. St. Mary's by 18 again. Ferndale needing to get some instant points.
And St. Mary's back in their zone. It's a 2-3 zone.
St. Mary's has done a fabulous job on the top scorer for Ferndale tonight, limiting Cameron Reed to just 4 points. Chris Williams tied up, jump ball. It'll stay with the Eagles of Ferndale.
But everything is just so tough for Ferndale. I mean, we talked about it earlier in the game, them using their big bodies, trying to get into the lane. You know, Hardiman, I thought could have an impact on this game, but he's kind of been neutralized as well.
Yeah, he has. It's been an all-around suffocating defense. Those hiccups are still going, huh?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Counted in a foul. That is Chris Williams with a scoop and score. And Ferndale injecting life into this game.
And that's what they're going to need to do. They're going to need to get offensive rebounds. They're going to have to scrap. They're going to have to get extra possessions. Because, you know, we talked about it going into halftime. Them shooting 29% wouldn't last, and it didn't. They're down to 28%. You would expect that to climb at some point. Orchard Lake St. Mary's still shooting around 60%, which is making it very tough to come back. That efficiency is tough to overcome.
It is, and the three-point efficiency is also a tough one to overcome. It's been all around, no doubt. Wisniewski ties up with the Ferndale forward, Trenton Ruth, guard rather, and it's a St. Mary's ball. The arrow points the other way.
We have seen how many tie-ups in this game? At least 6.
So many. Could you imagine if this was the NBA? We'd have a jump ball. Like, yeah, 6 or 7 jump balls. Full court pressure.
That just shows both these teams going at it. You know, they're going after every loose ball.
Aggressive, no doubt. Hook pass to Wisniewski's completed and fouled. Dangerous, but completed nonetheless. The foul's going to go on number 33. That's Caden Houston, who had a three-pointer earlier. That's the 7th team foul, and free throws coming as soon as the Well, it should be free throws, no?
Maybe that count is wrong.
It's backwards, right.
Yep. St. Mary's has 7.
Right. My bad. Because St. Mary's listed under Ferndale, which confuses me. But yes. Under 30 seconds. Sherrod Barnes to spread it.
Sherrod has let his hair down.
Yes, sir. Ten seconds. Sherrod attacks. Floats it. No good. 5 seconds left. Renfro on the run. 2 seconds. 1. And Cam at the buzzer. No. Needed it. Did get it. And it's a St. Mary's 16-point lead as we head to the fourth quarter in Ferndale. 42-24. We'll have a scoring update of what's going down in Detroit right after this. We are the Prep. Thanks for watching.
All right, this is Adam, take 2. Mark?
I guess.
I go like this.
The best part about playing football in Texas has to be the reaction from the community.
I want to encourage others to play volleyball or choir because you get to experience new things and do stuff that you've never done before. My reason why is passion.
My reason why is pride.
Welcome back to Ferndale, fourth quarter, 4 fingers in the air. Some folks piling out of here. Look, this one's far from over. Chad Bush and Sam Stickday back with you. Alex Westfall, your executive producer. Want to thank our friends at BW3s. And we appreciate their patronage today. And BW3s, we want to tell you in the first half, fans watching from home, BW3s wants all the fans to win. So both teams combined for 100 points or more in today's final game. Everybody can get a free appetizer with a purchase of $20 or more from Buffalo Wild Wings. Chris Williams' layup is good.
And the last game and qualified for it.
It does. Now listen, in the second half, if there's 100 points total achieved, you spend $20, you get an appetizer then as well. Smythe for his 5th 3 of the day, no dice. So go find our friends at Buffalo Wild Wings. Fourth quarter, end of game. If it's less than 100 points scored and both teams did not score over 100 points combined, BW3s will still want all fans to get a free appetizer, and you can do so by redeeming the offer and the QR code, or on social media at Buffalo Wild Wings. All right, free throws coming up. Line right. This is Trenton the Truth Ruth.
Did you come up with that nickname?
I did.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, man, that's a great nickname to achieve in high school.
Yeah, I came up with it.
Wasn't Paul Pierce the Truth?
I think so.
Yep.
I like that name. But when your last name's Ruth.
And your first name's Trenton.
I mean, you should be the truth.
You have no other options.
I mean, I don't know.
I don't make the rules.
I don't make the rules.
It's just
I didn't
English.
name them.
Right.
It just falls in line. Full court pressure. It is a 13-point game. This is far from over. With 7:07 left, and here's a steal. Ruth with it. Kick out. Williams down the avenue. Got his own miss and scored it. Chris Williams, the senior, forces a Todd Covert timeout. They've cut it to 11 Ferndale has in their own gym, 42-31.
Well, all game long, St. Mary's has had trouble with breaking that press. This is where losing a Kareem Rozier really hurts you. I mean, he was the guy that was the one-man press breaker last year for Orchard Lake St. Mary's. Now you got to have a Trey McKinney bringing the ball up the court, a Sherrod Barnes. And here you see the nice take and the double hop right there, keeping the ball high and getting it back in for number 13. That was a huge shot for him, number 13, Christopher Williams. But no, for Orchard Lake St. Mary's, they got to be talking about in this timeout right now how they are going to break this press.
Yeah, the press has been a problem, and Juan Rickman smells the blood. You can expect that to continue.
Yeah, maybe we see Isaiah Hines get thrown back in the game since he's one of the better ball handlers. Smythe can also handle the ball, but he's the guy that's kind of been sneaking into the corner when they do break the press for the three-point shot. So I'm not sure if you want to take him out of that position, but they're keeping the same players on the court right now.
Indeed they are. We'll see how the adjustments are made. CHSL Central standings, UAD 4-0, and Brother Rice 4-0. That's our number 1 and number 2 teams in our prep top 10 this past week. De La Salle 4-1, Catholic Central 2-2, and St. Mary's 1-2. There you see the top 10 with the aforementioned clubs. St. Mary's checks in at number 8 this week.
A little different attack.
Same result. Turnover. Ferndale has smelled and exposed perhaps an issue.
Yeah, and I wonder why Ferndale went away from that. They seemed to have some success with it in the first half, and then they kind of quit about like 6 minutes left before halftime, and St. Mary's went on a little run.
Yep. So, 11-point game, 6.5 to go. Blocker, who had 27 against Grosse Pointe South.
A three-pointer here, and we got a whole different ball game on our hands.
Yeah. And this is a team that can hit it. Chris Williams with some fancy footwork, but he was fouled, they're going to say.
I thought that was a travel, but yeah, apparently Savoy got him, used a bit of the body.
That's the fourth on Jaden, I think, partner. We'll get another look here.
He must have got him when he came down with that left hand a little bit, but free throws nonetheless.
Ferndale's been fabulous at the stripe, 5 of 7.
Yeah, and rebounding the basketball. That's really where Ferndale has been able to kind of make strides here coming back, too. We talked about that one possession. They got 2 offensive rebounds. You saw it on the last possession when Williams was able to go up and get his offensive rebound and return it for a bucket. They're leading 25-17 rebounding, but 11 of those are offensive.
Well, it's an issue.
I mean, when you do miss 27 shots, there are more opportunity for offensive rebounds. You know, with Orchard Lake St. Mary's, they only have 2 offensive rebounds, but they've only missed 13 shots.
Right. Williams, the high scorer tonight, now has 12 in this game stick. Reed's been limited to just 4. St. Mary's has done a great job on him. Smythe gets it back to Sherrod, and now Hines, who you suggested, is indeed the solution, but he makes a poor pass attempt. And the layup missed. Williams right there. Reverse no. Got his own miss, but on that end line, and St. Mary's dodges another bullet.
A major bullet. My goodness. Here you get a good look at the layup. Caleb Reed trying to get a little too fancy with it with the reverse, switching hands in the air. But then Christopher Williams bringing it down, unfortunately out of bounds for Ferndale. But here we go. Try to break the press again. This has become the game in the game.
Really has. Daniel Smythe clears to Trey McKinney. And here we go.
And once again, Cameron Reed just playing too close to Trey McKinney. Like, I know you want to get up and make him uncomfortable, but he's not the guy you can knock off balance and throw off.
Agree.
So it's kind of tough to defend him. To me, this is the key right here.
McKinney with a shake and bake. Bounce pass stolen away. Stolen by Blocker. Ferndale with momentum. 5.5 left. Right corner 3, Ruth. In and out. Barnes with a big boy rebound, and now Smythe will look to clear to Hines. That's how you beat a press. You throw it ahead.
Well, it's crazy that they pressed after a missed basket. You don't see that often.
No.
Usually you need time to set it up, but they went right into it.
Smith in the corner playing keep away. 5 minutes left. St. Mary's hold on to a 9-point lead. The lead was as big as 18.
St. Mary's very comfortable just running offense here. The clock is their friend.
Smythe backs it out, as you mentioned. Now blows by blocker, puts it up with the right hand. Had it rejected, but the stick back by McKinney is good. And Renfro came down on that right leg and a bit awkwardly.
Yeah, Noah Blocker just threw the ball at Trey McKinney, too. His teammates trying to calm him down. That's a couple times they've gotten into it. Trey McKinney kind of a little push off to get the rebound. But take a look at this instant replay. Get a nice breakdown of the defense.
Smythe with a setup.
Yep, there he is. Was able to get by Blocker. Now watch Blocker here. Trey McKinney kind of bullies him. Little bit of an off-arm shove, but this will get you technical every time.
Yeah. Man, good catch. McKinney with 14 tonight, make it 15 for the sophomore sensation.
And that's 2 technicals we've seen on Ferndale after a play, getting a little too emotional. And like I said, I don't mind that stuff if it doesn't lead to that.
Yeah.
You know, like if you want to talk to a guy, you want to tell him don't do that again, or you want to tell him you're the man and he's not, that's fine. That's what this is all about. But throwing the ball, unacceptable. Coach took him out of the game to cool him down.
Yeah, Juan Rickman doesn't stand for that, and Noah Blocker a bit out of character for him, but
and it hurts your team.
It does, especially when your team has that momentum.
Yeah.
I mean, Ferndale had the momentum and had it down to 9. Sherrod Barnes with it high on the right. St. Mary's up by 13, 4.5 left. Left point to Hines. Playing keep away. Andrew Smith all alone. St. Mary's interested in just running clock. Yeah. Understandable.
Trey McKinney had eyes in the back of his head. He could have made that pass.
Yeah.
That was a wide open cut to the lane. He just didn't see him.
No doubt. Meanwhile, Cass Tech is taking care of business tonight in the PSL Holiday Classic down in Detroit, the other location we've been at all day.
Oh, the guy we watched in football, Sadler, is playing pretty good basketball for Cass Tech, too.
Yep.
Heck of a football player, great basketball player. One of my favorite athletes in the state of Michigan right now.
Yes, sir. Smith to Smythe, back out to Hines. St. Mary's up 13 and playing keep away. Barnes back out to Trey. Left hand lay-in, no, fouled hard. And he'll shoot 2 free throws.
And if you're Orchard Lake St. Mary's, that's almost a perfect possession. You know, you're using a lot of clock, and now you're sending a Trey McKinney to the line, where he is a pretty prolific free throw shooter for Orchard Lake St. Mary's.
Trey was 16 tonight to lead all scorers. He started off slow in the first half, but a lot of attention focused on him, of course, and a lot of pressure as well. St. Mary's expected to do big things last year, and look, he's the young leader of this team. One senior.
Now 6 for 6 from the free throw line.
How about it? St. Mary's overall now 8 of 12 from the charity stripe. Ferndale 7 of 9. And a day that's been filled with awful free throw shooting. This is refreshing in Game 7. Front iron miss, no. Smith with the rebound back to Trey McKinney. And the Eaglets will throw it ahead to Smythe to clear the zone. Smith down to Sherrod Barnes, who lays it in. And the Eaglets have reached half 100 in Ferndale and just might have turned the lights out on the Eagles.
Yeah, and it almost all goes back to that out-of-character technical foul of throwing the ball at Trey McKinney. I mean, it was down to a one-score game, and then all of a sudden, 2 shots, plus you score on the next possession. It's back up to 13-14, and it's going to be tough to recover.
Yep. So St. Mary's and Ferndale now playing for the third straight year. And for St. Mary's, it'll be a big contest next up against North Farmington on Thursday night.
Mr. Hertz.
Yep. And company.
Yeah.
And North Farmington took a loss.
And I was shocked to see that. We both were shocked. We texted each other about that, honestly. Like, my goodness, we did not expect to see that this early in the season for North Farmington.
Right. North Farmington, of course, was knocked out by Orchard Lake St. Mary's.
And one of the most interesting possessions of all time that we saw, a 5-minute dribble off by Orchard Lake St. Mary's.
Oh, man. Just wild stuff. Backcourt, Sherrod with a 15-point lead ahead to Smith. And now Zipp will back it out to Smythe. Sherrod to the hole, and he is fouled by Blocker. And that will be foul number 4 on Noah. Fans starting to file out.
I think this is a good substitution. You can see Blocker once again getting frustrated on that drive, too, and kind of a hard foul from behind.
Yeah.
No retaliation from Orchard Lake St. Mary's, but you can tell his head's not in the game right now where it should be. And that's unfortunate because I like that aggressive nature that he has, but you got to be able to walk up to the line and not cross it.
That's right. Ferndale will play again on Friday right here in their own tournament against L'Anse Creuse. L'Anse Creuse of Harrison Township. Free throws are good. St. Mary's has a 17-point lead with 2.5 left in this game. Happy holidays, everybody. Thanks for watching today. We'll be back tomorrow at noon. 3-ball, air ball. Big slate tomorrow on tap. Be at the Holiday Classic in Detroit at Renaissance High School. Coverage at noon, extending until the 8 o'clock hour. Sherrod Barnes throws it away, and the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh.
And then giveth back.
And then giveth back.
That press, man, that's something that Orchard Lake St. Mary's is going to have to deal with. You know, we've seen it before. Once it gets out there that this is kind of your weakness, other teams will try to exploit it. We saw it last year with Orchard Lake St. Mary's.
Yep.
You know, they had a rough time breaking down the zone defense, and every team ended up throwing a zone at them.
Smith steals it after the errant read pass. But you know what? Hey, look, this is where you get everything out of the bag. You find out your deficiencies. You find out what you're good at. You find out what you got to work on, and you find out now.
Yeah.
Because you got 3 months to work on what you aren't great at, you know?
And that's what the good coaches do, right? And that's why you play all these different teams with different styles early in the season to kind of exploit what you are.
That's right. 1:40 left. Sherrod Barnes hands off to Trey McKinney. Trey's been the top scorer, 18 points in this game. 14 for Williams for Ferndale. Near steal, and now it is a steal.
Yeah, I don't love that pass. He's got to take that shot.
And now Williams in the corner finds Cam Reed, who lays it in. 6 points for Cam Reed. 52-37 now, as Sherrod will get fouled with $1:12 left in the game. And the game in the balance, that's going to be foul number 4. And that will be free throws back the other way.
Yeah, that is the one problem by playing an aggressive attack defense, you know, especially when you're getting into this penalty here in high school basketball. But it's also, you know, kind of a double-edged sword for Ferndale. That's what kept them in the game. So you got to continue to do it if you want to try to steal those extra possessions here at the end of the game. But a 15-point lead with about 1:10 to go, it's going to be tough to overcome.
Ferndale was flawless last year in the OAA Red. Won it, went undefeated. On their way to a 21-4 season. They beat Brother Rice at Brother Rice 63-52. They did lose Trey Lewis, and they did lose Jason Drake. Free throw off the mark.
Another offensive rebound for Ferndale. That has been the lone bright spot for Ferndale in this game.
It has indeed. Jackson Wazalewski is checked in, the senior. And we've got a foul.
Now, Ferndale has 10 more offensive rebounds than Orchard Lake St. Mary's, 13-3. But once again, that comes off of missing 33 shots. But still, I mean, 13 offensive rebounds and 33 shots and 47 shots. That's a pretty good percentage, honestly.
It is.
Williams, the high scorer for Ferndale, coming in with 14. Reed with 6. Renfro with 7. Renfro was very quiet here in the second half. He put up his 7 in pretty much that second quarter, end of the first, and we haven't heard much from him since. Then you go over to Orchard Lake St. Mary's. Trey McKinney with 18. Smythe with 12. And Hines with 9. A sneaky 9 for Hines.
It is a sneaky 9. Shot off the mark. Some reserves into the ball game. Both clubs. Smythe with a rebound up to Hines. 30 seconds left. St. Mary's by 15 over Ferndale. And timeout, Todd Covert to get some players in the game.
Big number 34. Kind of look like Luca Garza out there.
Yes, indeed. Former Motor City Cruiser.
Yep. Dad Frank Garza. Interesting fella.
Oh, yeah. Top side, Hines is dribbling this out. St. Mary's looking to get to 500 on the year and get the win against Ferndale here in the Motor City Roundball Classic. The Eaglets have won on the road 54-39 over Ferndale. We'll have the final tally from this one coming up in just a moment. We're coming right back with the final thoughts and highlights right after this.
Begin with your dream, your drive, your grit, the heart and vision of every member of your team. We take it all, and from those threads of greatness, we weave a uniform of a champion. In many ways, our sport is just like yours. We've brought together a team of elite designers. We've put in the time and the sweat, perfecting our craft over 14 years. We've outfitted thousands of teams for thousands of victories, approaching each new project, each new game, like it's the only one we'll ever play. And let's be honest, we've done it all with a quality so unmatched that some can't help but call it perfection. You know, it's more than just a shirt. Look like a champion, play like a champion. A champion powered by the G. Hashtag GBrandUSA. GBrandUSA. Elite design, unmatched quality, American pride. We're proudly made in the USA.
In today's ever-changing real estate and mortgage lending world, the importance of a true professional has never been higher. At Success Mortgage Partners, our mission is for every borrower to receive level 10 service, and our goal is to get you the lowest rate possible. We want you to have an experience of a lifetime. Navigating a turbulent market like this needs to be handled by a real professional. Call Todd Barr at 734-674-6154 and put 20 years of local knowledge to use for you and your family. Success Mortgage Partners Incorporated supports equal housing opportunity. NMLS ID number 130562. This is informational only and is not an offer of credit or commitment to lend. Contact Success Mortgage Partners Incorporated to learn more about your eligibility for its mortgage products. Welcome back to Ferndale High School. Friendly Ferndale, fashionable Ferndale. We love Ferndale. And so does this crew. We're glad to be back. Sam Stick Day, Chad Bush with you. Stick, this is a game that St. Mary's led from wire to wire in a contest that they got efforts from multiple sources and really felt comfortable most of the game until that press came, and then some things changed.
Yeah, Ferndale figured out that the press was going to be their only way to stay in this game, and it really helped them out. And here you get a look at Trey McKinney, a beautiful step-through drive there, and they also have a nice baseline shot of that too. Great work to the camera crew there. Ferndale was hanging in the game. I mean, we talked about them getting down low, getting those rebounds, and they out-rebounded Orchard Lake St. Mary's by 10 on the offensive board, and that's what they had to do to stay in this game. But here you go at the end of the game, broken the press, Sherrod Barnes with the layup. And this is kind of just some, I don't want to say garbage time basketball, but, you know, right, like those easy layups came at the end of the game when Orchard Lake St. Mary's was trying not to foul, trying to just keep the clock rolling. But overall, you know, Ferndale, I think they learned some things. You know, they brought Caleb Renfro off the bench. You're going to see, obviously, he's going to be a starter by the end of the season. He came in, had a nice stroke from the three-point line. Yeah, if not next game, had a nice run-down block. So they have some things that they can exploit and change. And for Orchard Lake St. Mary's, you learned we got to get better against the full-court press, you know. That's something that clearly is a weakness. Who's going to handle the ball in those situations? Trey McKinney, obviously very talented, but I don't want him as my primary ball handler coming up the court. You know, he's a tall kid. He dribbles it high. It's easier to steal. He's strong, but he can also get bogged down in the corner. He doesn't have the quickness to beat the press. So that's going to be an interesting thing for Orchard Lake St. Mary's moving forward.
No doubt. Ferndale falls to 2-4 on the year. St. Mary's improves to 2-2 on the year. The Eaglets were led by Trey McKinney's 18 points. Daniel Smythe had a dozen and was 4 of 7 from downtown. 9 points for Isaiah Zip Hines off the bench. 7 points for Jaden Savory. And 5 points for Sherrod Barnes in this game. And the Eaglets were led on the glass by Trey McKinney's 4 rebounds. St. Mary shoots 50%, 56% overall, 55% from downtown. They were 6 of 11 for the game, very selective and efficient, and 67% from the charity stripe. Meanwhile, Ferndale was led by Chris Williams, the senior's 14 points, to go with 8 rebounds to lead the team in both areas. Also 7 points in the game for Caleb Renfro off the bench, and 6 points in the game for Cameron Reed in the contest. Ferndale shoots 29% for the game, 10% from downtown, and 82% from the free throw line. And that concludes our contest. Want to thank our hardworking and talented crew. Alex Westfall, your executive producer. Aya Schick, your associate producer. Delaney Higgins on graphics. Craig Patterson on camera 1. Brad Ross on camera 2, and on camera 3 tonight, CJ Easterling. Want to thank our creative team, Julia Pisano and James Ferris. For my partner, Sam Stick Day, my name is Chad Bush. Happy holidays. We'll talk to you tomorrow afternoon from the Holiday Classic at Renaissance High School. Your final score tonight, Orchard Lake St. Mary's beats Ferndale by 15. Have a great night, everybody. We're the Prep. Thanks for watching. 54-39. Thanks for watching. So long, everybody.